I actually kind of consider it my superpower. And that can't be taken away from me. And one of my superpowers is research and data analysis. Let's look at folic acid intake. Let's look at communities that do not use processed foods versus homegrown foods. Let's look at so many other environmental factors and chemical factors than focusing on something that at best women have taken when they were pregnant, and they also have had children with autism. And let me just say, as a woman, that's a lot of shade being thrown, especially when genetics aren't even mentioned. Well, I feel like I showed up for a party this morning that still just hasn't happened. I've been waiting for this announcement all day. And spoiler alert, they're gonna say it's Tylenol. And they're gonna say that there's a medication that they're gonna offer to cure it. Paracetamol is used worldwide. Billions have used it. The components for the medication that would be developed under and sold and marketed under the name Tylenol has been around since the late 1800s. They derived it from coal in the beginning, and then they found it made like a connection to stuff in the body, and oh, I can't remember the two things, but the two things that make up acetaminophen, those are two different compounds together that are named after these coal compounds that they found in the 1800s could possibly create a chemical reaction that relieves pain that we now know as Tylenol. And here's something. My folks were too poor for Tylenol. They didn't take Tylenol. They didn't take any pharmaceuticals except insulin. Once insulin came out, was probably the first pharmaceutical my maternal family took, because they were sharecroppers. My great-grandmother was birthing babies on the kitchen table. She had 9 of them, and then she'd go back out in the field and pick cotton. My grandmother was the exception. She came out feet first. They call that breech. During dinner, my great-grandmother got the day off in the fields. There was no Tylenol for poor people in the backwoods of Mississippi. And my great-grandmother would have used willow bark for aspirin. Now I've been waiting all day for this press announcement, and they still hadn't done it. And I'm still not going to be satisfied when I hear it. But at least I wanted something today to get dressed up for. And they still hadn't made their announcement. It was supposed to be early today. Anybody else just disappointed as I am? I swear if they say it's Tylenol, I'm just not going to be able to believe anything that they say. I mean, they could question, as I put in my other video, my birth mother was on 1,000 milligrams of Thorazine. Yes, Bambi Jane. She was under a cornucopia of pharmaceuticals when she was pregnant with me. But Tylenol was never one of them. In fact, she didn't like Tylenol because she was scared of Tylenol because the government was probably in it. I don't know. I'm not making that like as a funny joke, but she believed that the CIA listened in through the phone jack in the wall. So, really, are they going to say Tylenol? There's so many smart people that have so much more to say. I'm just going to be disappointed, that's all. And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. That podium's looking bare. What a way to let the air out of the balloon. Typical. So, to sum up the whole announcement that came after the stock market closed, so there could be no reciprocal effect, Tylenol consumption during pregnancy could possibly, if studies are looked at subjectively, show an association with the development of autism. However, I would interject, since most of the population in the world, poorest countries included, have taken Tylenol, it has to be factored out as a variable. And when compared to communities that are less reliant on pharmaceuticals as a study group population because of seeming decreased rates of autism diagnosis, what is the culture in that community, and do they see traits that are autistic in other ways? B, do those communities, even the poorest in the world, have more access to fresh fruits and vegetables and less processed crap food from the store? And C, where are the names and lists of the studies other than the couple that were used as associations but not as correlations listed, so that the findings can be replicated as is necessary with scientific inquiry? My birth mother took probably any other benzenate, Thorazine, methamphetamines possible that could be diagnosed or prescribed in 1976. Probably the one drug she didn't take was Tylenol. I didn't breathe for 4 minutes after birth. I have autism, and the reason it wasn't diagnosed in the 1970s is because unless you had severe, profound autism, where in previous generations you'd be institutionalized or given Thorazine, in the early 1980s, my dad was told I had something called ADD and ADHD. And as an adult, I received a diagnosis.
of autism.